Hello friends, how's it going? My name is Mike. This is Health and Wealth. Thank you for joining me today at TGIF. It is Friday. I'm about to shut down the work computer over here for the weekend. Get this party started. We're going biking tonight. We're hitting a new trail. I need to lose some weight and get the heart rate up. So this is a good way of doing it, and hanging out with friends and working our butts off out there. So it should be a good night here for sure. I'm glad you joined me today on the channel. And by the way, you guys have been joining in bunches. So really appreciate the last week here. Hope you enjoyed the last live. I'll go ahead and put it up top here at the very end of the video. If you want to just kind of hang out and watch live. By the way, tomorrow morning, 9:30, I'm hoping to do a live. If you want to join me then too, that'd be great. So today we're talking about MSTY. We're talking about dividends, distributions. We're talking about $1.47. We're talking about my passive account, just to take a look at the distributions. Now, for most people, you probably got your distributions today, Friday, June the 6th. For me, I get mine. I think I got mine today, but they don't show up on my account in Questrade up here in Canada until tomorrow, so completely useless. So on Monday is when I'm going to get them. I'm going to take them and I'm just going to reinvest them right back into MSTY. That's the plan, and keep building that position higher and higher and higher until I stop. And so I thought I was going to stop at 200 shares, but I think I'm going to keep going a little bit longer. Just talking about myself, of course, not talking about you and what you should do. This is not advice. This is just some guy on YouTube that has no education, just talking about what I'm doing. And I know you guys that watch this video are like-minded, and I feel like you get some entertainment out of it, and I get a place to talk about what I'm doing. So I'm glad you're here. So let's take a look at Mr. Let's talk about MSTY. Mr. this week went up 1.97%. That's it. 1.97%. Wow, it had a bit of a drop today after the last time I looked at it. Earlier today, it was all the way up at 381, 383. I hadn't looked at it for a while here, but 374 it ended up on the day, and up 1.97%. MSTY itself over the last 5 days went down 4.7%. Now, the big reason for that is this cliff right here. This is the X distribution day on Wednesday. And so because of that, it went down 6.5% on that day, right? So if we go from Thursday till today, it was down just 0.26%. So if that distribution didn't happen, we wouldn't have that massive dip. But, for me, it's welcome because I'm still buying shares of MSTY. Of course, I don't want it to go too much lower, obviously, but if it could hang around $20 for the next 8 months, I'd be all right with that because I want to buy more shares. I don't know where I want to take it to, though. I don't know what the end result is just yet. Maybe 500 shares, something like that would be good. But I got a long ways to go. Bitcoin itself, 104,000. It seems to have hit a new wall here around the 105,000 mark. So you can see here, up and down in the last month. It's up 10 grand. In the last month. That's nice, right? I can handle that. I bought more Bitcoin today, actually. So my plan is to buy Bitcoin every single pay Friday, just $100. And so far, so good. Been doing it since approximately December. I do it right in Coinbase, super simple. I just transfer my money over and put it right in $100. Head down, don't look at the price, just keep buying. For the next 5-10 years. We're going to see how it works out for us. It's not, as we say, taking the cheese out of my macaroni or anything like that. So it's not like it's going to hurt me at the end of the month financially, right? I'm also taking my YouTube money that I make. So by you guys watching this video, thank you very much for supporting the channel. All my members, you guys are amazing. Such a support. And people who donate to the channel, it's something I talk about every single night to my family. And all of us are in disbelief that you do that. So I really appreciate that too. But all of that money goes back into my investments. So this month I made $1,400 on YouTube just by making, I think I made like 30 videos last month. That was time consuming, but that was fun. I had a good time doing it. But that $1,400 is going to get split up. 200 is going into Bitcoin. 200 is going to go into my mortgage. And then the rest is going to go 50 shares of HHIS, which is a Canadian thing. And then the rest is into this other Canadian thing, version of PLTY. It's called PLTE through Harvest, right? So just trying to build up those two positions. That HHIS is similar to Bitcoin in the sense mentally that it's going to be my bank account, 10, 20 years from now, just paying out 25 cents a share every single month. That's the hopes and the dreams. All right. So that's a review of the week, of the month, of the last couple of days here of Mr. MSTY and Bitcoin. Tell me about your Bitcoin. Are you buying Bitcoin? Or are you just buying MSTY in place of Bitcoin? I am doing 2 out of the 3. So I've got Bitcoin purchases happening. I've got MSTY purchases happening. I don't have Mr. yet, but oh man, it's tempting, right? I mean, the underlying on NVIDIA, the underlying on Coinbase have been great, and so has Mr. So it's very tempting to get into it. It's just that for me, I might have too many toes dipped into too many different little baskets, and I might be diluting myself a little bit. Funny word when we talk about yield max is that dilution, right? Of share price. So far, MSTY though is hanging around its inception price, right? It's hanging around its inception price, down 4% since it come out, but it has paid an insane distribution amount in that time. Let's take a look at my passive account. Here's all of the distributions since I bought MSTY, which was right here, June. Oh, look at that. So I've had it since June. So I think I actually bought it in May, got my first distribution in June. It was only $25, and then the next month was $120, $186, $191. Here we got a little massive $880 in 1 month. That was really good. $460, $465, $415, $393, $310, $339. In this past month, $634. My best distribution month so far at 1,765 Canadian dollars after tax. So all the tax has been gone from that 15%. Deuces, they're out of here. And so I'm pretty happy with that. This month won't come anywhere close to that, obviously, but what's missing right here is the MSTY distribution because I don't get it until tomorrow. I think it's $284. Man, how many shares did I have? Well, I just bought 14 shares of MSTY with cash. And so what's that? 234? Something like that. 234 times $1.47, it equals like 280 after tax, something like that. So I've actually included that in this number right here. So this is my my MSTY tracker that I've been doing since I've had it. So there we are, 12 months. MSTY total investment $6,243 US. Current market value, because the share price you can see on the right here, the current share price is $20.62. Multiply that by 284 or 248, gives you $5,113. This number doesn't necessarily matter. I might highlight it like yellow because it doesn't really matter. But it's the Canadian dollar amount I've received so far, $4,801. But U.S. distribution, so if we just convert that, right, it's 3503. And so my unrealized return on capital is 56%. Now, I did something I normally don't do. I bought it with my own money today. So I bought it, oh no, did I do it yesterday? Man, today was a long day. I bought it yesterday on the X distribution date, which is good. Yeah, I'm pumping this thing up a little bit. I think by the end of this month, I'm going to put my NVIDIA money in here. I'm going to put my MSTY money in here. I hope I can get this thing up around 280. And then next month it'll be at 300. And sky's the limit. Let's rock and roll. So my average price right now is $26.56. It's a little strange to talk about, though. I used to have a much lower average cost. And then when it was working its way up around the $30 range, I sold a call on it. Those calls got taken away from me. And so I closed the profit at 800. So then I rebought. but I rebought higher, right? Up around the $30 range. So I'm just bringing this average cost down a little bit here every single month, which is good. Its current price, $20.62. That's the post-market price that I had recorded about 10 minutes ago. So I'm down 27% in unrealized loss. Okay, so that means I'm up about 20 or like 19%, I guess that math kind of works out. If you take a look at the amount of distributions I've got so far, minus the loss, right? But all of the money that I've got from MSTY, other than paying some bills, has basically been rebought into MSTY. I'm kind of dripping it, but manually over here. But my unrealized gain is minus $1,397. But again, this is unrealized because I have not sold these shares at all. One thing I didn't record was this month's distribution, so we can put a $1.47 right there. And then we can kind of do the math. I'm gonna have to get my head out of the way here, get the screen out of the way. So what's that say? 38.33 so far. 38.33. Grab a calculator here. Let's go like this. So 38.33 divided by 14. Oh, I guess it's 15 months right now, right? So 38.33 divided by 15 months since it's come out. So its average distribution now is dropping down, right? Because of this last one, obviously, and two that were somewhat before that too. So our average distribution is $2.55. We can see it on the right side of my screen. I mean, for a $20 ETF, if you're getting an average of $2.55 every single 4-week cycle, whew, that's looking pretty darn good to me. I would be really happy with that. If my share price stayed at $20 for the rest of my life and I got $2.55, I'd be real happy with that. I know that's not realistic. As the share price goes down, so does the distribution value. As the share price goes up, so should the distribution value. So we're hoping that these guys can cooperate with each other this month and with the Olmax, and they can start making some money on their weeklies and their synthetic options. I've got a couple things here. One by this guy right here. He was on CNBC this morning. It looks like an interview with Joe, which should be terrible. Is that a good way to promote watching the rest of this video? Any video with Joe is terrible. We're going to be the judge of it at the end of this. Let me know what you think. Talk to me in the chat. What are you guys buying with your MSTY distributions? Are you paying for life? Are you going golfing? Are you buying hot dogs at Costco? Are you reinvesting it? Are you buying Bitcoin? Are you buying everything else out there in the world? What are you doing with that money? Let's go check out this video. Here we go.
Now known as Strategy, expects to raise nearly $1 billion from the IPO of preferred stock that pays a 10% yield. The company plans to use the proceeds for general corporate purposes, including buying more Bitcoin. Joining us now is Michael Saylor, Strategy Executive Chairman. You've described some of these moves, these financial moves before to us, Michael. Is this more of the same, or is there anything unique or different about this round?
You know, what's exciting here is we've done 3 IPOs of preferred stocks in the past 6 months. Strike was our first convertible preferred, and that was up 29%, while all the other preferreds were down 6%. Strife was a fixed preferred, paying 10% fixed yield at par. That's up 22% versus all the other preferreds down 4.5%. So Stride was the third of those preferreds. And what's going on here is we are offering fixed US dollar yield, and we're swapping it into BTC yield, which is what our equity investors want. The big breakthrough is that in the preferred market, the capital never comes due. There's no refinance risk. We're basically offering a perpetual US dollar yield forever. We're getting the capital forever. And so by matching a very long duration instrument on the liability side with a long duration asset, we're creating, in essence, an indestructible balance sheet. And these preferreds are a very scalable, extremely low risk way to generate leverage to drive a very large premium into the MSTR stock. So it's a win for the fixed income investors because they're getting a yield 400 basis points more than typical preferred stocks or junk bonds would yield. And it's a big win for our equity investors because they want more Bitcoin. And this is a way to get leverage without worrying about any kind of bond coming due.
Wow. You obviously are the ultimate hodler. You would buy, if you have money, you buy Bitcoin, I think, don't you? It doesn't matter whether it's up, down, or flat.
150% Bitcoin, Joe.
Do you think at this point that there's, let me just say, what are you waiting for at this point in terms of good news? I think the regulatory environment since the election is definitely improved. We've talked about how much harder it gets to mine, and there's halving. When is the next halving, and what are the next moves that it would cause the asset Bitcoin to get to some of these? I don't know whether you have Tom Lee type projections. I think Tom the other day said eventually it could get to 2.5 million per coin or higher before we never really will get to mining the last coin, will we? Not in our lifetime.
Not in our lifetime, but the last 6 months have been tremendous. All of the fundamental planets have aligned. Bitcoin's been acknowledged as the one digital commodity in the world by the administration. The banking regulators have given a green light to bank Bitcoin. The accountants have upgraded the accounting to fair value accounting. There's been a surge of Bitcoin treasury companies. There's like 100 public companies or more that are holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and every single week there's another announcement. I think that, it used to be we're focused on the halvings, but at this point, the entire natural supply of Bitcoin is only 450 Bitcoin available for sale every day. That's sort of about $45, $50 million a day at this level. That is all being consumed by the Bitcoin treasury companies, and the Bitcoin ETFs are coming on strong. So I'm very bullish. My forecast in July of last year in Nashville was Bitcoin's going to appreciate 29% a year on average for the next 21 years. And that moves it from, it was about mid 65,000 to 13 million a coin in the year 2045. I'm getting more bullish on that forecast, but I'm certainly comfortable forecasting 30% a year ARR on average for the next 20 years. I think Bitcoin.
I just pause it right there. 30% a year for the next 20 years. That's insane. I'm just listening to this guy. He gets me excited, but I mean, we got to take it with a grain of salt. He's pure Bitcoin only, right? So, I love the thought process of 30% a year. I love that thought process, but I also got to think about that a little bit, right? Don't just don't just take what he's taking, right? And be realistic about your investment. That's what I think about. So that's why I'm putting $100 every 2 weeks in. I want to be a part of it, but I don't know if it really would hit that 30% every single year. That would be incredible, but that's why my money's going into it gradually here, and it's very exciting. That's for sure. Okay, let's play it again. Here we go.
Bitcoin's up 57% a year. For the past 4.5 years. Again, that's double the Mag 7. That's quadruple the S&P. That's 8 times real estate, and bonds are down 4%. So Bitcoin is smashing everything, Joe.
Hey, Michael, you keep popping up in my feed. You've gone viral with some comments you made at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas recently. And it was where someone was asking you about proof of reserves for strategies, 567,000 Bitcoin. You said that was not a good idea. You don't agree with it because you think it's a security risk to actually do the proof of reserves that way. But there have been a lot of critics in the Bitcoin world about that. They say that snubbing audits like that flies in the face of Bitcoin's founding principles, which are verifiable, transparent ownership. And they say for a company that has its entire business model around Bitcoin, that stance raises some eyebrows. What do you say to that?
Crypto Twitter is very colorful, and we have these fun back and forths. The highest standard of in this case, transparency would be a public company audit from a company like KPMG, where they're auditing both your assets and your liabilities, combined with officer representations pursuant to Sarbanes-Oxley about related parties and the like. And so we are a publicly traded company. Our assets are audited. Our Bitcoin reserves are audited by KPMG, as are our liabilities. I think that, we're always thinking and considering, is there a way to do proof of reserves in a secure way? We're not enthusiastic about publishing all of our wallet addresses and having people track them every minute by minute, because it exposes our custodians, our counterparties, and our own employees to more IT risk. But we're considering it. We're thinking about, is there a way to do it with a zero knowledge proof? And we're also always thinking about self-custody and what is the right way to manage custodian risk. And I think what you see is there's the OG crypto advocates who developed a bunch of very strong ideas over the past decade, and there's an emerging class of institutional Bitcoin holders like BlackRock, like the ETFs, and like the Bitcoin treasury companies, and they're focused not just on the assets but also on the liabilities. We have to audit and publish those audits with 10Qs and 10Ks.
When you watch somebody like Michael Saylor, does that get you interested more in Bitcoin? For me, he kind of is the salesperson, right? He's the one that really sold me on Bitcoin. His pure passion for it has got me interested in the future of my money. And I think by investing just a small amount into Bitcoin every 2 weeks, including this YouTube money that I'm making now, which is really cool. It's like, a year ago, I would never have thought about this before, but it's just exciting to be able to afford to put money into something that could be so huge in the future. And I'm excited about that for my personal. For you, you might not believe in it. You might think, wow, it's a scam, Ponzi scam, all of this stuff. He's a salesperson selling you the wrong dream. And yeah, I could see it both ways for sure. And I completely understand where you're coming from. For me, I'm willing to take that small risk to make that large hope and dream come true. But we'll see how it goes, right? Only the future can tell what will happen. But yeah, I think it's worth the small risk for sure, for my family's future, for my family's future. And we'll see how that goes down the road. We'll see how it goes down the road. This is not advice. Don't do what I'm doing, because I have no financial background. Do not do what I'm doing. I'm telling you, go get a financial advisor. If you're watching this video for the first time, you're like, wow, this guy's into Bitcoin, into MSTY, financial advisor. If you've never done anything, if you don't know your risks, if you don't know what could happen to your money if everything fails, don't invest. Okay? Be smart about where you're going to put your money. This shouldn't be gambling. This should be investing. And if you think that it has a strong future and you can handle the loss, if there is loss, then invest. But if you can't, don't do it. I think it's important that I tell you that message. There's other people out there on YouTube who are like, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in. But a lot of people just throw their money in not knowing the risks of what could happen. And so it's important to do that research. Go look at other funds that have had downside to them, and really pay attention to that before you dip all your toes into one basket. Is that the saying? I'm going to leave it right there. My name is Mike. This is Health and Wealth. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.